Mr. Rowe, Town Accountant, page 5, Department 135.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Bill Rowe, Town Accountant. Some of you are familiar with our office, and some not. We've gone through a lot of turmoil over the last 5 years or so. From 2009, 2012, I had between at least one clerk out on medical leave for a year. So we're basically, during that time, one full year with just two staff. There were 3 town manager reorganizations in 3 years, between 2013 and 2015. 2013, the full-time internal auditor was removed from our office and placed under the town manager. In October 2013, a full-time clerk was replaced with a part-time clerk. And at the beginning of fiscal 2016, we budgeted for an assistant town accountant and a full-time clerk and a part-time clerk, which was great. The downside was a 15-year experienced clerk was transferred to the police department. So we had to do some rebuilding. And we've had various vacancies throughout the year. The good news is we have an excellent staff now. Excellent assistant with prior Munis experience, full-time clerk and a part-time clerk with excellent number skills. Both competent, hard-working clerks. Since the beginning of calendar 2016, we've been able to reinstitute weekly invoice processing. Formerly it was biweekly. With the staff cuts, we had to go to biweekly. But the weekly invoice processing has dramatically reduced the amount of finance charges charged to the town by public utilities. We've got quite a ways to go to catch up on monthly reconciliations. We've asserted to our auditors that we would be doing monthly reconciliations in fiscal 2017. That's going to be challenging with the departure of the treasurer now and the assistant treasurer, both retiring. So, and that doesn't even begin to talk about the auditing responsibilities that we have on our office. As you may know, the town accountant is also the town auditor by statute. So, it's hard to get to stuff like we'd like to do, like the oversight that we should be doing, like surprise cash counts, things along that line. So, it's almost impossible to provide the proper oversight of it's one mad scramble all year long to get the accounting work done so you can get the reports into the state just to get your tax rate certified and your free cash done. So that doesn't serve the town well. So, got a great staff now. Hopefully you can support that budget. And I'll take any questions if you want to go through the expenses. We do have a consultant fee in there for $9,000. Hopefully, we need them from time to time. We still haven't fully implemented all the Munis modules, so we have a consultant in there to help with that. The audit fee, that's actually 7/8 of the actual fee. 1/8 is paid by the school department. And just basically other stuff, travel, training, office supplies. Any questions?
Does anybody on the board have questions of Mr. Rowe? Ms. Dolan?
Well, you sort of explained this, but I'm just concerned, the consultant, what does the consultant do?
We have a CPA firm, Clifton Larson Allen. They help us with implementing the Munis modules. They help us to set up the account, the chart of accounts. He's basically on retainer in case we have any issues that the Munis support staff can't help us with, and you need somebody who has the more more accounting knowledge, like, what fund do you set up, or where should this transaction go, or things along that line. So we haven't needed him in a while. They did come in, for example, and they developed an export table to export for the tax collection from KVS into Munis. Well, that's another thing. We still have not implemented all the Munis modules. So, I mean, the Treasurer still uses QuickBooks. Continental is still using utility billing. Public Works still using Continental utility billing. And the taxes are still on KVS. So we have a long, long way to go. We've been working many, many hours outside of business hours to try to catch up. But any cuts would really hurt.
John?
Bill, the town manager department has an internal auditor.
Correct.
Do you work with that person?
Yes.
All right. Can that person...
She helps out.
Yeah, so can she do somebody's surprise cash checks or internal auditing?
She does from time to time, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Jody?
Real quick, now that you have a great staff, what's the $5,000 for overtime? When does overtime come into play?
We haven't used any overtime in a while. Like to have something there just in case. We do have deadlines that come up from time to time. Special projects. Whether I need 5, probably not. I only spent $1,982 in 16, so. But I'd like to have something.
Dave, go ahead.
Through you, I'd like to just ask on the same question that came up around the consulting fee. When the town meeting approved the Munis software package,
Right.
we were told that everything that was needed for that project was going to be paid for in terms of the implementation, training, software, hardware, everything was going to be part of that budget.
Right.
Following up to that, we found out that there were some gaps in terms of learning the requirements, and we had to hire an IT director for the town in order to help with training individuals
Right.
throughout and various other projects having to do with Munis. Why would the consulting fee fall in your budget, and why doesn't it fall under IT if they were responsible for Munis?
This is basically an accounting consultant. It's a CPA firm. Their firm has been involved with, many, many Munis conversions. Like, for example, when if we, hopefully when, we switch from, the treasurer's office switches from QuickBooks to Munis for their checkbook. This person has the experience to implement that sort of thing with the accounting background. Plus they've set up the chart of accounts. So it's basically rather than the technology end of it, it's more the drill down on the accounting work, financial aspects of it.
Following up to that, then, did the training for the people who are in need of knowledge of how to use Munis, are they caught up now, or is there still a learning curve going on in the town?
Everybody's doing very well, very, very well, but we're only using it for accounts payable. And while the payroll, the human resources does the payroll. It's basically one clerk does the payroll, one or two. But all of the other departments are doing very well at entering purchase requisitions and invoices, things along that line. We've had vacancies, new people come in, and they may have to come up to catch up, and sometimes we notice some deficiencies, but between Trish and IT and my assistant and me, we try to walk them through how to do things.
That was actually going to be my next question about efficiency. Have you been able to identify any efficiencies gained from the investment?
The big thing is the school department is now on Munis. They had their own accounting system before. So we used to have to try to reconcile the school's books to the town's books. And one of the biggest findings on our end-of-year report for the DESC was, the school's ledger doesn't reconcile to the town's ledger. That could be because we've had 4 business managers in the last 5 years. It's been difficult. That's affected our office as well. So that's the biggest, that's probably the biggest aspect so far is the school department and the town are all in one system. So we're not going to have that finding anymore. The school's ledger is the town's ledger. So that's a great improvement. We plan on going live with utility billing in July, and that will interface with the general ledger. And I think tax collection too, hopefully. And then once we get there, once we get that rolling and working well, that'll be great. Then we won't have to reconcile all these other different systems that are out there. That's very, very, very time consuming.
So we should, we figure 1 or 2 more years?
1 or 2 more years, yeah.
You all set there? Is anybody else on the board? Vaughn?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through the chairman, I had a question about the assistant town accountant here. There's a 4.67% increase on that, and the senior clerk, too, a 4% increase on that.
Okay, the senior clerk, too, is 2 positions, the full-time and a part-time. The breakdown on that is $25,102 for the part-time clerk and $52,011 for the...
Okay, I just saw the line
Yeah.
increase
Yeah, it's
4% on
2
that.
positions, yeah.
But those 2 positions increased between them 4% then?
About 4%, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And the assistant town accountant increased 4.67%?
The assistant town accountant at the, because of his evaluation, I had recommended to the town manager a double-step increase, and the town manager approved it.
Okay, so the assistant town accountant got a double step
Yeah.
this year? Okay.
He's, we don't own him, we're not going to own him, we're just renting him. He can be in a town account in any town in the state. So, I understand he may have made a verbal commitment to the town manager for 2 years. So that's August of 17, so the double step was to try to keep him around.
Okay, double step on one and 4%. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Christine? Nothing? Anybody in the audience? You're all set, Bill.
Thank you very much. Thank you, folks.
What's that, John?
Thank you, John.